Hey guys, on this episode, me and Brody meet back up on our southern public land unit during the rut and have an encounter with the biggest buck we've ever seen on this piece of public land. It was a fun hunt. Thanks for watching. You're going to enjoy this episode. Well, when you don't see any deer all morning, you come back to the truck to eat some lunch and watch other people drive through the piece of public land and kind of see what they do. This guy stopped behind us when he pulled in, and now he's in the middle of the road and he's got it blocked off for some reason. So, also had another car come in. So it's just kind of fun to people watch for a little bit. If we can't deer watch, we're going to people watch.
On the move.
He's on the move. Lights are on because safety first.
It's pretty dark outside.
Well, we're 0 for 2. Didn't see anything last night. Didn't see anything this morning in a spot that is usually very reliable for seeing bucks and does. So the plan tonight is to kind of still hunt with the stands on our back north of where we're sitting to try to see if we can find some fresh sign, maybe, I don't know, bump a buck, something to get into the deer again. So, kind of confused as to where the deer are, but we're going to still hunt our way back there, like I said, look for some fresh sign, some rubs, scrapes, tracks, and go from there. We found a real fresh scrape right here, like real fresh, like probably from this morning, because it rained last night and we can see like fresh dirt thrown on these leaves that wouldn't be there once it rained. So you can see the licking branches right here are freshly broken, and some old ones that have been broken from years past. So that high wall set that we always talk about is straight in here. So tomorrow morning our plan was to go there, which now it looks like that probably was a good idea. I should have been there this morning maybe, but scrape right here, probably coming from that high wall area, probably coming to this scrape, and then probably going north is what we think. Or I guess it could be completely the opposite, but either way, he's coming through here, and he did this probably early this morning. So that's kind of what we're looking for, as we're going to still hunt our way that way. And I guess if we don't see anything, we have enough time, we could just come right back and go right in there. So we'll get going, still hunt our way down that way, looking for something just like this. We made it back in here to where we stashed our stands just to go get something to eat. Walk back in here and grab them. Now we're gonna head back here behind me. So we've got a north wind, so it's coming from back there, blowing this way. We should have a good wind to be able to still hunt our way that way. We got like 3 hours before we really have to be anywhere. We're just gonna go slow, see if we can't find some fresh scrapes or fresh rubs, and take our time, work our way that way. So it's been a couple hours now since we started doing that still hunt to the north. Found nothing but a few rubs. As we walked out to the dry river, we were walking down it, saw boot prints in the mud, found someone's climber stand. That's probably why there's nothing to the north. But we came back here to the high wall, and there's a fresh rub in that tree right there. But most importantly, there's a real fresh scrape right there. Been tore up probably from this morning, so looking good. There's one fresh scrape right back there, so we're not going to hang out here too long. I don't want them to smell our scent right here. We're going to get up here, get into our stand, but that's what I wanted to see down there, but we're seeing it right here, so that looks good. So fresh scrape, fresh rubs. We're going to go get in the stand and hopefully see something. Made it up here into the tree. I decided to come back to the high wall set, and like I mentioned earlier, that fresh rub and scrape are right over that way, probably 100 yards or so. So we'll see what happens here. There's more sign back here than there is even 200 yards to the north, so it seems like this spot might be a little bit better, but we sat there this morning till 11 o'clock or something and didn't see anything, and it's only 200 yards that way. Back at the high wall tonight, it's getting a little bit colder and a little bit cloudier, so we'll sit here and hopefully see some deer tonight.
Hey, Brody, right here, right in front of us, straight to the north.
Okay. Yep, I see him.
You see anybody?
I see her walking to the left. I see her now, bro.
I don't see him anymore.
I see the one. She's just behind that tree right now. I don't see the other one though.
Like straight that way. She was going this way. There was another one that was on the outside where they were going this way.
Oh yeah, I got her.
Buck. There's a buck right there. Shoot her.
Where at?
Straight. Where that doe was before.
Okay.
We might try crooning at him because I can see him.
Okay.
He's not making a scrape or something. Two of them. He heard it. He heard it. There again. What's he doing? Looking for it. Looking over here for it. Okay. He's on camera down there. He's the one I saw that first morning when you and Dad were down there, and it was raining, and it was too dark, and he ran right by me. Or he didn't run. He walked right by me before I could see him.
Well, we had an interesting day to say the least. It started out really slow, so we went back to a place that we thought had to have bucks in it, just because of how far away it was from pressure. And we got in there, seen a few does, and caught a glimpse of a buck, lost him for a little bit, and he came back out getting towards the last light. A really nice buck, but he's in there somewhere, so we're headed back in tomorrow, hopefully to see that buck again.
Me and Brody are back in the stand that we sat last evening. Had that pretty cool encounter with a really, really big buck down here on public land. But we just went back to the hole, get away from the pressure on public land, if nothing else, get away from the pressure. And then once we got back here, we seen fresh scrapes, fresh rubs, more than we'd seen anywhere else on this property so far this year. But a really big deer down here on public land in Nebraska. So we're back in the tree stand this morning, hoping he works his way back through. So should be a fun morning. Hopefully we see some movement. Brody, right here, just ran down the hill. Straight to my left. Just one doe. She's the one that was up there. Something to the north when she came down that hill too. Yeah, I don't know if there's a buck or something over there that when she came down that hill stood up or moved or something. She's the only one that came down the hill, but yeah. I just heard something when she came down that hill, like something got up on the other side over there or something. We'll know here in a second. Well, it's been another pretty quiet morning for us here during the rut. We're right next to a bedding area. You'd think the bucks would be cruising around, checking for does, but we haven't seen much rutting action on this piece of public land anyways. Had a doe come through a little bit ago from right behind us, go right into that bedding area, so we thought if she gets walking around in there, it might stir something up. If there's a buck in there that wants to chase her around, but we'll sit here for a little bit longer and see what happens.
We're getting a little later here in the morning, but I wanted to talk about some of the rut activity that we're seeing or not seeing, and then our plan for yesterday going forward based on the fact that we weren't seeing a lot of rut activity. And you guys can let us know in the comments below in your guys' area if you're seeing a lot of rut activity. We haven't seen too much right now, but I think it's probably going to heat up a little bit. We may just not be in the deer, but let us know below what you guys are seeing for rut activity in your guys' area. But our plan yesterday was to still hunt our way north, looking for some of that rut activity. We didn't see any sign that we really liked. So we backed out, went to the dry river, started scouting back down that dry river, and found another person's stand and a bunch of boot tracks going back and forth down the dry river. But the reason we sat here last night, came back, half a day early, was for two reasons. We saw fresh sign, and we got away from the human pressure. And then sure enough, we saw that really nice buck come walking out and walk over here. So to find the big bucks, you still got to kind of resort back to some of those things that you use in September and October, the buck bedding, and then now they give you a little bit more sign to use. And even if it's November, if those spots that you're sitting during the rut aren't working out, don't be afraid to get down, move, and look for that fresh sign. And if you're on public land, get away from that pressure, and you should be able to find the bucks. Right here, right here, right here. It's just a doe. Turn your camera. She's right here. Come. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. Just don't move. Run right at us. You're fine. She don't know, just don't move. Behind her, behind her, behind her. Small buck, small buck. And now she's getting chased by something. Over there. Bigger buck, bigger buck, bigger buck. Far away. See him, he's going. Now, look, I see him move. Took off.
Pretty decent morning for us. Had that doe come in early, and then had that doe and small buck run through, and then Brody caught a glimpse of a bigger buck farther away through the trees. So pretty decent morning. No real big guys running around like last night. Didn't see him come back. It's been a little bit slow. Started to see our first kind of rut action on this property here just this morning. So we're gonna climb down now. But like always, guys, if you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, do that. Hope you guys are having some luck out there. The rut's going. Hope you guys are all out in the woods having some fun. I know me and Brody will be back out soon. Thanks for watching.